Welcome to the Eutaw Street Banter podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here at the Eutaw Street Banter podcast. I'm Cody. Along with me, like always, is Elijah. What's up, buddy?
Not much. How are you?
I'm doing good. We have had a whirlwind of a week when it comes to Orioles baseball. So obviously we're going to get into that and get to some box scores. We'll just run down some of the games that we haven't talked about yet. And we'll go through that. And then after we talk about the podcast, we'll tell you about our feelings. And we will, we probably need like a counselor, a psychiatrist or something, to just really help us through this tough time here through the first, 9 games of the season, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess the only way we can look at it is it's not worse than like 2019 or 2021.
Yeah, or 2020. It's 2020.
Well, 2020, that was bad for everyone. That wasn't just bad for us, I guess. But, I mean, it could be worse, I guess.
I guess.
At least we still have Corbin Burns.
But and we're not the Marlin. The Marlin.
Yeah, that's true. We did. If we had started off 0-9, I think I may have quit the podcast.
Oh gosh.
I think I may have just been done.
But nobody would know, probably, because nobody would want to listen to anybody.
Yeah, no one wants to listen, just Cody.
No. I meant like nobody wants to listen to somebody talking about an 0-9 team. Wait,
yeah, that's very true.
I'm right in my throat there. Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Baltimore Orioles. Well, the last time we talked, we were talking about that Royals series, and we didn't get to talk about the last game of the series, which was obviously against Kansas City. We had Corbin Burns on the mound in that game, and obviously, in everybody else's mind, we would say, obviously we won, but we really didn't win just because of him. He got hit around. He got hit. He gave up 9 hits, 2 earned. Only struck out 3 in that 5 and 2/3 innings. But he did just enough to get us through that. But it's one of those things where that series kind of it felt weird, and it made me nervous about going into the Pirates series. But we did pull that game off. And if you listen to that podcast, you would have heard that we were talking about Cole Reagans saying that he was a stud, and daggone if he didn't show that he was a stud with, 7 strikeouts, 6 in 6 innings, and only gave up 1 hit. So thank God he's gone because he did pretty well against us.
Yeah, he really shut us down. But honestly, looking after how the rest of the games played out this past weekend, was it him being good or us being bad?
That's very true.
But yeah, no, like you said, Corbin, he just did terrible, right? He pitched almost 6 innings. He gave up 2 runs. He gave up more than 1 hit. It's crazy to think. This is worse though. That's good.
Yes, I was impressed that he scattered the 9 hits. You know what I mean? I mean, you pitch less than 6 innings, you give up 9 hits, you expect more than 2 runs. So and this was that game that was delayed by a chunk. You know what I mean? So I think they had like a 6-hour rain delay. So obviously, and then it was still pretty wet out, pretty gross. They were all bundled up. So, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You got anything else in that game?
Yeah. So we had the rest on the pitching side is bullpen was actually really solid this game. Michael Garcia hit a home run off of Bauman. So Bauman just needs to kind of settle in more and find himself as a nice middle relief guy. And if he can, I think our bullpen wouldn't be too terrible. But on the offense, we were very stagnant. It was very bad. I guess you could chalk it up to maybe the rain delay got everybody off, but we only had 1 hit going into the 8th inning. That was an Adley Rutschman double. But we had Colton Cowser came in and pinch hit, got a nice single. Then McCann, who you'll hear later for this game, he had a nice double that he hit off the Utah Monster or whatever we're calling it. And then Ramon Arias continued his hitless streak and popped out. But we manufactured a run with a Gunnar Henderson sac fly that scored Cowser. And then this kind of play that amazed me is as I'm watching this game in my room, I'm sitting, watch Adley rip a double, what looks like should be easy double off the wall. And he's running, and then Hunter Renfroe just grabs the ball and throws it without even looking. Yeah. And when I say that may be one of the most impressive throws I've ever seen from a right fielder, that it was amazing.
It was a great throw. Even Adley just kind of sat there and was like, dang, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just, yeah, that was pretty crazy. It was, like close your eyes and chunk the ball.
Yeah, no,
Impressive.
I mean, it was a great throw, great tag by Bobby Witt Jr., but that scored, so it got us two runs that inning, so we were behind 3-2 going into the ninth, and Cano had a scoreless top of the ninth for us, but bottom of the ninth, started off with a Mountcastle walk and Santander single, and then interesting move. I still don't quite know how I feel about the sac bunt. I don't know how you feel about it, but it's just sometimes feels slightly outdated. But Jordan Westberg sac bunt to move everybody over, just for Austin Hayes to get a walk to set up the double play anyway. And then Colton Cowser, and probably, if I had to imagine, the biggest spot of his young career, he strikes out looking. And then just McCann comes through again, nice single.
Yeah, I would be, if we were the podcast for like the Kansas City Royals, which would not be a fun podcast to have made, but I would be so upset with the left fielder where it took forever for him to get to that ball and get it in. Maybe they're playing further back than I thought to make sure that it's like no doubles defense. But my man was running from second base for about a good 10 minutes to home plate, and they still couldn't get him. But obviously, and then I'm sure that ball was soaked by the time he picked the ball up. But, I'll take whatever I can get. But when the hit happened, I was like, all right, well, we tied it. There's no way they send him home. But
well, that's why we were kind of lucky that Santander got pinched ran for by Mullins, because Tody's not making around the bags that quickly.
Right.
Well, I mean, and I say you say they're not happy with the left fielder. I think you're not happy with Will Smith, who this was his second blown save already, and out of facing 7 batters, he got 1 out.
Wow.
That's because I don't think you can really. He got the Cowser K, but can you really count the sac bunt as an out that he got? That's us. It's called a sacrifice for a reason. But I don't know. We might not have a closer right now, but I'm glad it's not Will Smith.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was super happy though. Burns got his, got through that game, did well, did okay. Like I said, he gave us a chance to win the game, and we pulled it off. So then the next day we had a day off, and then we went and faced the Pittsburgh Pirates in their home opener. A beautiful snowy game. It was pretty funny to kind of see it. I remember there was a ground ball to Mountcastle, and like the whole dirt was covered in, like a flurry of snow. Yeah, I mean, if but pretty neat. Pretty. I mean, I'd hate to play there. I'd hate to have been there, but that ballpark's gorgeous. So, just probably much better without the snow, obviously, or not really without the cold. If it could snow in like 60-degree weather, that would be pretty great. But not really baseball weather. So
yeah, no, it was just I would say this is probably the best game that the Orioles have had all around in a while. We won 5-2, and it was kind of just everybody was just contributing a little bit. You had O'Hearn hit a home run in the second, Gunnar had one in the third, Adley had an RBI single, and Tony had an RBI double in the seventh, and then Mullins even homered in the eighth off what looked like just some nasty slider that he just yanked right to the pole, basically. And I don't know, it's just not a lot of putting pieces together, and just we had the one big inning in the seventh and a couple of home runs, but you get what you could take. 5 runs isn't bad. And then what I was really impressed with here was Grayson Rodriguez.
Yeah,
he threw a 6 1/3, and he only gave up 2 home runs. That's what messed him up, and the last home run is what got him out in the 7th inning. He had 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. I don't think that's a bad start at all.
Nope. Yeah, I agree.
The 7th inning is always good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the first 2 games he's been through, I thought he did great. That I think he's exceeding expectations for me. I think at this point in the year, I expect him to get off to a little bit slower of a start. I guess the only thing that's helped is he's faced weaker lineups. But I just think the Pirates are better than what you think. Like, you still think they're just the same old Pirates, but O'Neal Cruz is a stud. Brian Reynolds is good. Brian Hayes, great. And Rowdy Tellez, good power hitter there. But anyway, I mean, they're not like awful. They're not, we're not that Oakland A's. So I was really happy with it. The biggest thing I was happy for was, you had Cano come in there, struck out 2. Kimbrel came in, struck out 2. He got his first save in this game. And, so we got the win. So that's huge. but I was more impressed, like you said, with our pitching in this game. And, we were hoping that this would kind of fuel, the rest of the weekend, but it didn't, because the next game, the Orioles lose to the Pirates, 5-4. Tyler Wells pitched, and in my mind, I was like, God sakes, Tyler Wells gave up 3 runs. But then I look at him, okay, you got to know what Tyler Wells is for me. All right. He's not Grayson. He's not Corbin. So he got you through, got you to the 6th inning. So you got and 1 out in the 6th, and then he had to pull him. He gave up 7 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. But, that's kind of what you're going to get when he comes in. But the issue is you can't hit the ball. You know what I mean? So, like, at some point, if you're going to have Cole Irvin and Tyler Wells pitching for you, your offense better, like, turn on, or at least do something. And this is when the Orioles started absolutely going cold.
No, yeah, it was crazy, because this is what I look at. Okay, we scored 4 runs, but we didn't really, because we had 4 hits all game. That's terrible. We scored all 4 runs, not even off of those hits. We had 2 fielders' choices and 2 sac flies. And yeah, that's productive. You're moving runs across and we're scoring runs, staying alive. But it's just, if we're not going to be a pitching team. We have an ace in Burns, and we have potential with our rotation, but not really our bullpen. We can't risk not scoring runs, especially if we get a free runner on second base in the 11th inning. We have to score.
Yeah.
Because what happens if we don't is you ruin a decent Wells day, and then Dylan Tate, Jacob Webb, Keegan Aiken, Cade Kimbrell,
Woo! I got you.
And Danny Coulomb, they all had scoreless outings. But Bauman and Heasley both gave up the runners that were on second when they came in and do the extra inning rule.
Yeah.
And so they got those unearned runs, and if you can't stop them, you have to be able to score. And I'm looking at this Orioles lineup. I know they're not good, but there is no way we should start with a runner on second and no outs and not be able to score them.
Absolutely.
There's too many possibilities. Even if we did it in the game against the Royals, sack bunt to move them over to the third and hit a ball in the outfield.
Yeah. That's you were talking about a sack bunt. I don't have a problem with sack bunt, especially the extra innings. I mean, you have to score. Basically, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where, you have to be the first one to get, something on the board, especially when you're the away team. Because if you don't get anything, it feels like you lost already. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, so that's really frustrating game, because they kind of got my hopes up. I was like, all right, we came back. We're going to win a game. Really, we don't deserve to win. But no, we didn't. We lost the game we deserved to lose. So very, very frustrating game. And then the frustrations just continued the next day when we lost again to the Pirates 3-2. That was a Sunday game. Another frustrating game. And the frustrating thing I'm having here is I'm really impressed with Dean Kremer right now. I mean, he pitched 2 good games. He came in this game, he gave us 7 innings, 5 hits, only gave up 1 run, not an earned run, gave up 1 run, right, with 6 strikeouts. I don't know what, I mean, you're not getting any more from Dean Kremer. You know what I mean? I mean, he's doing phenomenal. He's really making sure that when Means and Bradish come back, that's not a spot you got to worry about, because he's giving us a chance to win. You just got to score more than 2. That was just a little frustrating for me looking at the pitching side of it.
Now, Kramer did outstanding, and he continued after another start that he had against the Royals. That was really, really good too. But it just comes down to we gotta be able to score runs. I really don't know.
Yeah, and you say, well, man, hey, come on, they had 6 hits. All right. Well, Mountcastle had 3. Right. So now you go, and then you had Mountcastle at 3. He's had a great start of the year. Rutsch has had 1. Santander had 1. And you would never guess who had the other one. You'd say, oh, probably, Gunnar Henderson, Jordan Westberg, Austin Hayes, Cedric Mullins. No, Mateo. Mateo had the hit, and that was just super frustrating. Mateo, got that hit, and I thought we were gonna make a little comeback, and obviously we didn't. But yeah, so really just a frustrating series.
Yeah, I think this is what I'll do to show you exactly what happened and what can't happen. Is we have against Jose Hernandez, who I'm not gonna say I'm a big Pirates guy. I don't know many of the players. I've never heard of him. Have you ever heard of him?
Oh, Jose Hernandez. Yeah, he's a really good. He's a probably future Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
I watched
the Orioles. He is at least.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
And we had Yenye Cano come and pitch in the 9th inning. But this is what the Orioles did. We had Adley Rutschman lead off. He struck out. Ryan Mountcastle, yet again, he had a single because he could hit the ball. Apparently, no one else can. Santander flew out. Westbrook flew out. That's the heart of our lineup in the 9th inning that we needed to score a run.
Yeah.
Because, yet again, we were winning at this point. But do you feel comfortable without Felix Bautista going into a 1-run game in the 9th? No. Because this is what they did. You had Brian Hayes single, Jack Sawinski single, Connor Joe walks to make the bases loaded, and then we had a forced play that eventually brought in, I think that brought in a run. Yeah. No, sorry. They challenged it to get the out again, and then we had another ground out that should have been an out to end the game. But Henderson threw the ball into the crowd.
Yeah, that was a pretty crazy throw too, dude. Like that was, come on, man.
And my thing is, I want to get mad at him, but the problem is he's making so many good defensive plays. We should never be in the spot that if we have an error on defense, that's what's going to lose us the game. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know if we've just been so spoiled by Felix Bautista that we don't expect to ever have like a bases loaded situation in the 9th inning, but we had bases loaded, no outs. That's insane to me.
Yeah, it does definitely feel lost once you get into the 9th, right? And this isn't just talking about the Pirates series. This is just talking about Baltimore baseball in general. You're really getting nervous because I was really excited at the beginning of the year when I saw Bauman and his speed. I mean, he's throwing gas, but I guess it's straight because they're hitting him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I need him, I don't know, just hit his spots. Don't throw the ball right down the middle. Because, I mean, he's throwing 98, 99. I mean, it's there. It's just hittable. And then Kimbrel, I mean, I was surprised after one save that apparently he can't pitch again. That's the problem with getting in, an older pitcher, I guess. I know last year, Bautista, there was a time where he came in 3 games in a row, which, you know what? Obviously, he's then had to have Tommy John surgery, so maybe maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe, yeah. I mean, but or you go, hey, maybe we need another back end bullpen. So it's one of those things where I just don't feel confident at all.
No, it's just I don't know. I don't even know how to put it into words. It's like we just had this great thing, and it just got ripped away from us.
Yeah. Now,
it's probably how, the Yankees feel Garrett Cole and the Guardians feel Shane Bieber, but what did we do to deserve this, Cody?
Yeah. The only thing I keep saying to myself is, especially the Guardians of Shane Bieber and, the Marlins with every single pitcher that they have has needed Tommy John surgery. Or, this past week, it's been insane how many Tommy John surgery.
I think it's been 3 or 4 in the past 5 days.
It's crazy. So, but, our pitchers that are hurt are, priming to come back like soon. So we're so like I said, we're at the point of the podcast where we start to get all sad and stuff, but no. But I will say it is 9 games in, and we're still above 500, and we're getting ready to go against a really good Red Sox, or not good. Okay, a hot Red Sox team, right? They're just
yet again. They played the A's.
Yeah, I know, and we played the Royals, and
that's sure. Hey, okay. I know it may not be good.
I get that,
but they both the Pirates could be contenders this year. I don't think they will be, but they could be.
Yeah.
And anybody tries to say the A's are going to be contenders, you get punched in the face. That's just
yeah. So we got Boston coming up. They're 7-3. So we'll get to talk about that next week. Hopefully it's a positive. Hopefully it's a totally change of attitude. It was one of those things though where I think the worst part about this whole week is us not hitting. And then all I keep seeing, man, is that the flipping the Norfolk Tide is just going off and they can't get out. I mean, you got Hesse Kershed. I mean, so hold on. So the Norfolk Tide have played 9 games. The Orioles have played 9 games. Here's the difference. Okay. I just want to be clear. So I don't get people yelling at me is I get they're playing AAA pitchers. 100%.
They're also AAA players.
Yeah, they are.
Like,
okay.
It's not like it's Mike Trout.
Okay. So they're playing AAA pitchers. Now, if you want to, it'd take me a second to get back through it, but if I came back and told you who the Pirates pitchers were, they might be AAA pitchers too. You know what I mean? So it's pretty darn close. But anyway, so let's talk real quick. So through 9 games, just like the Orioles, okay, our Norfolk Tide team, I got Jackson Holliday, obviously. I mean, that's the first guy everybody's going to talk to. He's batting at 342. He has 2 bombs, 9 RBIs. Okay. All right. Now let's jump to, I don't know, Hesse Kershed, with 6 home runs in 9 games. And 25 RBIs in 9 games. He has 25 RBIs and only 39 at bat.
Yeah, I mean, it helps when you have 10 of those 25 in one game.
And that's true. He's got a 462.
Let's just put this in perspective, okay? Heston Kjerstad scored Heston Kjerstad scored 1 less run than the Orioles did against the Pirates in one game.
Isn't that crazy? So here's my question. So
sure, he couldn't be helped, right? He'd probably just come up and do nothing.
So our third baseman, it's not Westbrook. Who's that other guy? I don't think, has he got a hit yet?
Yeah, he's 1 for 17. Mike Elias, do something.
Yeah, Ramon Urias, is on the Orioles still. We have a guy playing third base in Norfolk. His name's Cody Mayo. Just a heads up. He only has 2 home runs, okay? But he's batting a 390, 6 RBIs. He hit one completely out of the park. Not a, oh my God, it's out of the park. No, it's not there.
It disappeared.
Yeah, and
yeah.
I mean, it's over. So, okay. And
he'd be worse than Urias, though. Don't worry.
Yeah, right. And you got Kyle Stowers. Just in case everybody doesn't know, Elijah's just being sarcastic right now. All right, but
I'm very mad. No.
Then we got Kyle Stowers. He's killing it. 6 home runs, 18 RBIs. He's struggling at the plate though. He's batting a 333.
He's the dog.
Right.
He has a better batting average than 3 Orioles right now.
Right. And then the guy that we sent down so that we could keep Kemp on the roster, Nick Maton. Yeah, he's batting a 357. He had 1 home run, 5 RBIs. I mean, but he's only played in 4 games. So it's one of those things where they're just going off. I think part of that is definitely it's easy to hit when your whole team's hitting. You know what I mean?
It's easy to hit when you have 4 major league ready players.
Absolutely.
I mean, let me float an idea out right here, okay? Okay, just imagine. So you take the current Orioles lineup, and then maybe just take off Tony Kemp, Jorge Mateo, Ramon Urias, and Austin Hayes, right?
Yeah.
And instead of those 4 players, imagine you have Jackson Holliday, Heston Kjerstad, Cody Mayo, and Kyle Stowers.
Yeah.
Oh, no. They collectively, those players have... You wouldn't believe it, Cody. Collectively, those players have less than 10 hits.
Yeah.
There are 2 players that I just named that have more RBIs than those 4 players combined have hits.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, there's not all of Hayes, Urias, Mateo, and Kemp. Not one of them have more hits than Kjerstad or Stowers have home runs.
What?
In the same amount of games.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry. Kjerstad, Holiday, and Mayo, they've played more games than all of those people except for Hayes that I mentioned. And they're still having better, not even just the counting stats, better percentages.
Yeah, I don't think you can really do. Yeah, so I agree. I agree with everything you said. I am trying to be more grounded than you, and not freak. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, how about
But
this?
we're-
Let's
we're-
get our
We're not getting rid. We can't. We're not letting Hayes down. We're not putting Hayes down.
trade him. Hey, what do we need? Some relievers. Trade him for a reliever. You know what? This is what we do. Hold up. Idea. I just got an idea. So Enrique Bradfield. Okay, maybe he's not quite to AAA yet. So we wait a week, let him keep progressing through the minors, rush him up to AAA, and then we package Hayes and Mullins. Okay, this would be a hard trade. Package Hayes and Mullins for Tanner Scott on the Marlins and some other pitcher that they have.
Yeah.
And then you have you go between, and then you keep Mateo on the roster because you want between Kauser, Mateo, and Bradfield, you have a center fielder. Call Bradfield up. Why not? We need defense and speed. That's what he is.
They're not calling him up this year.
And then we have Kirstead and Stowers can play the outfield. Kemp could be gone. I don't know why he's here in the first place. Like you could not possibly tell me that Tony Kemp is better than Jackson Holliday.
No,
Like
no.
I would love to sit in.
I don't think Tony Kemp starts on our AAA team.
No, he doesn't. That's the crazy part. He doesn't. Like, okay, I'm looking at our entire AAA roster, right? There is, other than Daniel Johnson, which I don't know what's happening to him. He's only got one hit so far. Besides him, there is only 3 players that are not one-dotting their OPS, which, in case you don't know, OPS is it's your on-base percentage and slug. And above a 1 is absolutely insane. And we have 9 of those.
Yeah, I think they're playing like on amateur mode, like on MLB The Show or something. Like their settings are way too easy.
Yeah, they're doing hit stick, automated running.
Right. I don't know. Yeah,
it's so.
Yeah, they cheated. Yeah, so I mean, it's crazy. Just to bring people back down to earth, we're not trading. I don't want to trade Cedric Mullins right yet.
I don't want to trade him either.
Not,
but
did you know
you not realize how? I did know we had Tanner.
I know he's good. I know he's.
I follow Tanner Scott on Instagram. Look, this is what I'm saying. He's had 2.
You're pretty much brothers.
that dad strength is coming. He's gonna do. He was really one of the most underrated and best relievers in baseball last year. Bring him back to Baltimore. Get him some crabs in his system. I'm sure he'd be even better.
Yeah, I don't. Do the Marlins even need Tanner Scott? They don't get that far.
How do you need? You don't need a high leverage reliever when there's no high leverage situation.
No, you're. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know, guys. So, like I said, I am trying to be the person that's not freaking out on this podcast.
I'm being every single Orioles fan right now.
Yeah, I get.
Because okay, Cody, here. Let me just. I want us to take a deep breath here. I'll try to calm down.
Yeah, you need to.
Imagine right now. Imagine you're a Yankees fan. And your team's doing great. You're sad because Garrett Cole's gone, but everyone's making up for it. Random pitchers are doing good. Alex Verdugo's doing better than he's supposed to. Everyone's clicking. And then you look at the Orioles and you see that we have these AAA players that are doing good. You are just hoping that we don't call them up.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's what I think should happen. So I think that before we freak out and trade everybody away, I want to see them come up and I want to see them, get a few starts and kind of see how they do. And the reason I say that is I'd hate to throw them in there and, something happened, and they just struggle. I don't know. Maybe that's sort of like peeking at the Christmas gift before Christmas. You know what I mean? It's like a no-no. But all I know is we have AAA players that are just getting ticked off by the moment because they can't do anything else you know what I mean?
Like, how are you supposed to tell Heston Kjerstad that he doesn't have a spot in Baltimore? I don't know how you can physically do better than he is. He's batting almost 500.
Yeah.
And yet again, like when you had 10 RBIs in a game, I know Mountcastle did that last year. That was the most we ever had in a game as like in the Orioles last year. I don't know what more you can expect from these players because all that's going to do is be worse for them. I think and like you said, I'm also like trying to be realistic. I know Kjerstad's not going to bat 500 in Baltimore. I know that's not going to happen. And Holliday's not going to consistently slug what he's slugging right now. But between Holiday, Kerstad, Norby, Mayo, and Stowers, at least 3 of them have to somewhat decently produce more than what we have already.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing with Heston Kjerstad is he just missed out on being on the playoff roster last year. So it was one of those things where, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Here's my other problem I'm having right now is the other day, Austin Hayes comes up in a high leverage situation, and he's Austin Hayes. He's Austin Hayes right now. Just can't buy a hit, and I know Colton Cowser didn't get that hit when you wanted him to the other day. He struck out, but Colton Cowser's still batting a .455 on the bench. Still having a great start to the year. You know what I mean? So 5 hits in 11 at bats. So what else do you need to do when you got Austin Hayes? He has 2 hits and 26 at bats. So I don't know. I mean, if you look at the stats right now, Colton Cowser has 5 hits, like I said, in 11 at bats. Gunnar, our dude, he's going to be great. I mean, he only has 7 hits in 34. Cedric has 4 hits and 28 at bat. So I think it's time to get Colton Cowser involved if we want to. If you're telling us to just settle down about the whole AAA thing,
yeah,
because they still got to prove themselves. So we got a guy sitting on our bench right now. His name's Colton Cowser. And I think he needs to get some regular days on.
100%. Because it's just, I think it's getting to the point where it's starting to show more and more that I don't know why, but they're so scared to play O'Hearn and Cowser against lefties. But it's getting to a point that you can't keep doing what we're doing against righties because it's just not working. There's no reason that against a righty, Ramon Arias should be playing. Because, as we are currently built right now, you have to basically have either Arias, Kemp, or Mateo playing in the infield.
Yeah,
and I don't think either of those are major league starters. They aren't. I just think it's a thing that I don't know why we didn't have Holiday at the beginning. When that decision was made by Elias, I said I'll trust in him, but it's getting hard to keep that trust.
Yeah, so a couple of things real quick that I want to talk about is, so watching our infield here, so the other day we had, I can't remember who was at second, but anyway, obviously I had Gunnar at short and Westberg at third this day. Okay,
It was Mateo, I think.
Was it Mateo? Okay, I'm pretty sure. I believe you. There was poor Dean Kremer. He could have got out of an inning, and it goes right past Westberg for an error. So here's my problem is if Westberg can't show that he can play a solid third base, does Gunnar have to move over there? You know what I mean? Because then Holiday would have to go to short. You know what I mean? So I get it. I don't want to jump the gun on Westberg.
Yeah.
I was at the game where he had a walk-off home run, and that was pretty awesome. But man, I just am nervous about him. He's one of the ones I'm most nervous about when it comes to our prospects.
No, I completely understand that, but I know it's like when you see something like that, you are worried. I honestly think that if any of our infielders that I trust the most on defense, I think it's almost Westberg. I think you kind of screw him over, though, when you're so used to playing third base, and then you consistently just put him at second base.
Yeah.
I think Westberg is the best at playing third, second, and short. I don't think anyone else is going to be able to play those 3 at not even a Gold Glove level, but just a solid day-in, level that you're not scared that he's going to. And yeah, he's going to make an error or two, but I think he made 1 error all of last season in 70 games.
Okay. All right.
I that's why I know you're scared just because of how kind of our infield defense fell apart recently. If I trust his defense over Gunner's. I trust him at third or second more than I trust Gunner at short, and Gunner's really good at short.
Yeah. So
because I think Westberg's our third baseman because I think Holiday's gonna come and play second because Holiday is not a long-term shortstop at all. He does not have the arm strength for shortstop.
Yeah, and he's been practicing at, not practicing. He's been playing for the tie at second. That's another thing kind of take me off because part of the reason they sent him down was he needed more games at second. And I'm sitting here going, guys, you knew he wasn't playing short.
Why didn't you play there in
all last training? All last year. This isn't, Elias isn't so oblivious that this plan was set a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Just going over a little bit more of our issues. I mean, so the Baltimore Orioles as a team are batting a .222, and that is 20th in Major League Baseball. And obviously, just in case you forgot, that's out of 30 teams. So, we're really, really struggling there. I just really would really want to see that. All we got to do is hit the ball. Like, we're not talking home runs. We're talking, we just need timely hitting and just put people on base. There's a lot of quick innings where the Orioles are playing some fast baseball. Games are like 2 hours and 15 minutes because we're going 1 through 1, 2, 3 innings.
Like, I want to know what happened, where we went from the first 3 or 4 games of the season to where we are now. Because I remember watching the opening day. I was so impressed with our plate discipline and patience, but that's just gone now. I mean, there should be no reason that Cole Reagans, I think he had like 70 pitches through 7 innings.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, and then if if people want to complain about Orioles pitching, right? But our pitching ranks 5th in ERA in all of Major League Baseball with a 2.85 ERA, and that's not our issue right now. So it's one of those things. So for instance, right? So our ERA is 2.85. We're 5-4. Okay. Pittsburgh Pirates are a little over 3.5. Okay, they're 9-2.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're hitting the ball. Right.
Yeah. We have. Okay, everyone knows Corbin Burns is going to be good. He has a 2.31 ERA. He's got the third highest. He's got the third highest ERA in our bullpen. Girod and Kramer, they got 2.19s, both of them. They both thrown over 12 innings. Like, they both statistically have done better this season than Burns. And that's nothing against Burns. Burns has been amazing. It's just we have 3 starters right now that are performing at an elite level. Elite. All of them. We have Burns and Kramer have below 1 WHIP, and Girod's at 105. Like, I don't even know what's like.
Yeah, I mean, not to just keep harping, right? So, Corbin's doing great, Grayson's doing great, Dean Kramer's doing great. Tyler Wells is exactly what we expected. Well, I'd say a little better. I mean, Tyler Wells is Tyler Wells, but you need him to give 3 runs and give you 6, right? So that's what you need, and he's getting close to that each time. He's giving it 3. He's getting to the 6th inning. He's having a hard time getting through the 6th inning, and I think that might be a little bit of just very precautionary. Where if they see any type of fatigue, they're taking him out to try to get a whole season out of him. Cole Irvin, we've only seen him once, and like you said, you said off air, was it looks like we're skipping a start today. Today we have God's sakes. We got Corbin Burns. I tried to put his name together there. Corbin Burns, he's pitching today, so against the Boston Red Sox, and that is their home opener. So I haven't looked at the weather. I'm sure it's going to be like 13 degrees. It's always cold early in the year, but at least if you want somebody pitching in a big game with a high atmosphere, I want Corbin Burns on the mound. So hopefully hopefully the Red Sox come out with screaming fans and hyping everybody up, because he's going to feed off of that. And I'm really excited that that our management decided to skip a Cole Irvin start and give the best pitcher in baseball the ball.
I mean, it's smart because it still gives Burns is still more rest days than he normally would. He gets this would be his 6th day because the 2 off days that we had in between the Pirate series. And just one last stat to throw at you guys is just we're 6th in bullpen ERA too, 2.15. So when you go say, oh yeah, no, our starters are good, but our bullpen's not. No, our bullpen's good too.
Yeah.
If you're giving up, if our bullpen's got trying to do quick math here. If our bullpen has around a 2 ERA and our pitching staff has around 2 or 3 ERA, that's not a lot of runs per game.
No,
not a lot at all. I just if we could score 4 to 5 runs a game, that's all it takes.
Yeah, not only that, it's just it's all high leverage right now. You know what I mean? It's all 1-run games. It's just not fun. It's not. It's very stressful baseball. You know what I mean? So it's like every time you're going in, it's very stressful. You're asking these relief pitchers that aren't superstars to do a lot. Cano's getting there, obviously. And I think Cano looks fine. He's fine.
Not a closer.
He's not a closer, right? And that's okay. You know what I mean?
Not everyone is built to be a closer.
No. So, like I said, I mean, let's stay grounded for another week. Kind of see, next time we talk, let's hope we're still above 500.
Yeah.
5-4. We're going against the 7-3 Boston Red Sox starting today, and hopefully, the next time we talk to you, we will be in a great mood because we need it, right? So, I really would love to see us have a really good week coming through. And I just want to see averages fly up. I want to see Austin Hayes tell us to shut our mouth because he's really the only one that's going to do that. I mean, Urias ain't going to do that.
No.
And Tony Kemp. Tony Kemp's not going to do that.
I don't know. Santander has a unusually low average. And I know he doesn't need a high one. Just I don't know. Be playable.
Yeah, right. So we got Boston. That starts today, goes Wednesday and Thursday. Then Milwaukee comes to our house this weekend. Please make sure you show up to the stands there. And then next week, we'll jump on the air again, and that'll be in the middle of the Minnesota Twins series, which is also at home. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully we have a great week. We have great news. Hopefully Means, can get out and, start getting ready to get in this rotation. And hopefully we hear some, good news for Bradish, or just not even news, just some updates, what I mean? So, anyway, so next time we see you, we're going to be talking about the Minnesota Twins. We're going to talk about how we did amazing and we stepped up in this Red Sox series. And then how, I guess we'll see maybe DL Hall. That'd be something if we saw DL Hall pitch. Yeah. Because he's starting for the Brewers now. And
as long as he doesn't, I'd rather him not pitch against us because I don't want to feel bad if we beat him.
Yeah, I won't feel. But
I miss him a little bit. He'd be nice to have this.
Boy, wouldn't he be nice to have right now, right? Yeah, but
I
don't want to give him.
I kind of like Corbin Burns.
Yeah. If only we could just give him like 2 single A players.
Now, imagine if we hadn't got Burns though, and we just had DL Hall. We could have added Joey Ortiz along the list of all the other players in Norfolk that are killing it, because I'm sure he'd be doing just the same as everybody else, basically. Right, and right now he's a platoon player until for this season for the Brewers because their shortstop there, I think, is it Freddie Adames?
Oh, Adames. It's a pitcher. Wow, that was bad.
Yeah. That's it.
Anyways.
Adames the free agent.
I'm sorry that I'm not up on my Brewers infielders.
You need to know your Brewers. I mean, not quite a bit people. Yeah, Bryce Frank's having a good year over there.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I know everything.
You know how you know Bryce Frank's doing good.
How?
He beat you in fantasy last week.
Oh, you picked him up. I didn't even.
Yeah.
You got stupid Ronel Blanco.
I came back, got the dub against Elijah in fantasy baseball. So Orioles.
I'll end up in the chip game somehow.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining another episode here at the Eutaw Street Banter. Please share and like and whatever you can possibly do to help us out, to get our name out. And I appreciate everybody that has done that already. Remember, we're on Facebook, X or Twitter, and also on Instagram. Also, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week, and we hope you have a great week. See you guys.
Have a good week, everybody. Bye.